DNA imprint of where you have traveled as a soul through the cosmos, that as we experience this lifetime, that so many times we sit here with these questions of, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And there's this ringing in our soul, in our hearts, and as we go through the slides today, my goal is to share with you with today's presentation how to start to catch those messages, how to clean them up, how to allow yourself to really hear your own inner voice. And let me go ahead and start this slide over here. That first and foremost, as much as each and every one of you might have felt a little lost or dropped off here on the planet like I did when I was born, I did feel like an alien when I was born, and I was fully convinced that I was born into the wrong family. And as time progressed, my heart led me to really find the messages and the signals that were always being sent to me, because even as an infant, I have visual memories of my abduction experiences, being taken to the ships. I have memories that pretty much stopped around the age of 7, because at 7 years old, it started to become so intense where I was fully being levitated and pulled out of my body and moved, that I had nobody to support me, to share with me what experiences I was going through, and my young 7-year-old body went through immense fear going through these experiences, and it shut down. So I found myself stumbling for years with fear that was coming from a sense of just not knowing, but knowing that I had to merge into that fear, walk through the fear, be friends with the fear, because that was where I was going to find my answers. And as this journey has taken me, that it has actually been my absolute joy, because I can tell you I've stumbled down every pothole you can possibly stumble down in life in order to find the answers within ourselves of how we truly were born with an owner's manual. There is absolutely no question to every single nuance of who we are, all the way down to the amino acid communications within our body that allow us to realize what shadows we are actually emanating within our life and where we are getting them from. That really, when we start to learn to catch the messages within our DNA, we start to actually read our inner internal light language within ourselves. And that truly, that in the very beginning of our life, 90 to 99% of who you have been has not been you. So I ask you, who is the you looking through your eyes right now as you look at me standing here? Who are you?
Love.
Woo. And with that, I want to just really bring a point for all of us here. I invite each of you just to look around in the room right now. Look who's here. Look at each and every one of us here. This is no accident. There is no accident to who is here in this very room right now. There are no accidents in the universe. There are no accidents to who you are. There's no accidents to the exact moment that you were born. And we are quantumly now fully entangled. Each and every one of us here is now sharing sacred space, and I want to actually honor that sacred space. That my invitation to you as I share this information with you today in this short amount of time is not only about the cosmic, beautiful DNA being that you are, but also that every step you take on this planet is sacred. It's a ceremony. It is special. And that just as much as you are a star seed, you are an earth seed, because guess what? Where are you right now? And we have this imprint in us right now in this beautiful mother starship where we are, and I'm inviting you that we get to create the sacred space. So I ask each and every one of you just to kind of sense yourself. And I just want to do a quick sacred space setting for this very moment for each and every one of us. And you choose to close your eyes, but I invite you to take just a deep breath in. And let yourself be centered right here into the now. That we're all being inundated with amazing, beautiful blasts of information right now, but just for this still moment, come right back into you. And allow yourself to just sense your energy, your aura, your field, and fortify your field. For those of you that know the 12th dimensional shield, I have a link on my website to share this with you. This is not something that I came up with. This is something that Lisa Renee shares that I highly recommend. The 12th dimensional shield allows you to fortify your field into a vibrational frequency that is outside of all polarity. Therefore, you come into your own neutrality, and anything that is not in your highest vibration of who you choose to be has no consent to enter into your space. And so very quickly, I'm just going to verbalize it for you. It's as if you have within your pineal gland a Merkaba star, and you're just on a deep breath going to shoot it down to the very core of the earth. From the core of the earth, it's as if you merge with the Merkaba star of the earth. Feel this beautiful sentient being that is sharing a part of her body with you so that you can have an experience in this very lifetime. And as you sense that beautiful plasma field that is the gateway to the heart of the universe, allow yourself to just breathe that up like a geyser of light all the way up underneath your feet. And as you create a platform of energy underneath your feet, just pop that like your own platform of sacred space right underneath you. And you allow it to create a cylinder of light that just moves up around you. It encases you with this beautiful luminescence to right above your head. And on the next breath, I'm going to invite you to come back into the Merkaba in your pineal gland. And on the next breath, on the exhale, you're going to shoot it all the way out the top of your crown, and you're going to intend it to the heart of the universe. I invite you to send it to the Andromedan galaxy. This is our mother galaxy of which we will be merging with, that we are reuniting with. This is our mother. And as you allow your Merkaba energy to merge with that, feel yourself that you have never been alone, you have never been forgotten, and then all of your soul's journeys that you have ever taken have always been a journey that has been fully and completely protecting you, guiding you, watching you, loving you, and knowing exactly who you are. And as you allow that breath of the cosmos to come all the way down, breathe it down, feel it move through all the dimensional spectrums of consciousness, all the way back down to the top of your crown, and seal that right into your field and allow your body to just get bigger now. Now we are quantumly connected with each other here in this room. So allow yourself to feel the sacredness of group space as we share information today. And let your energy move the perimeter of the room. And anytime you get within the company of many others, that you want to be in diligence to maintain your field so that you are not just being open to whatever might be happening, but that you are always using discernment. That we live in a polarized reality. This means that our consent is key. And when we learn to utilize our consent in a way that empowers us, magic happens. It becomes fun. We manifest exactly what we were wanting right out of thin air because we realize that we are living in union with planetary consciousness. Not just our own heart, not just our own soul, not just our own space, but we really step into the next level, which is planetary consciousness. And for all of us that are ready to merge with our star brothers and sisters again and to be on these planetary councils, that it really takes us first and foremost to realize that we are part of a planetary consciousness here. And so with the things that I want to share with you today is primarily how to catch things. And I love this quote, so I had to just throw it in here. That we are all stars wrapped in skin, and the light that you are seeking has always been right within you. That we truly are the cosmic stars, we truly are cosmic beings. And as cosmic beings, one of the ancient teachings that we have has been shared with us through all of the ages, and this is astronomy and astrology. And I like to share this picture right here because this is one of the oldest temples, the Temple of Dendera, the Temple of the Hathors, and it was such an amazing discovery for them to realize that one of the most important teachings that the Hathors would be teaching with was astrology. Who are you? Where did you come from? Know where you are going. We are here in this body right now, but when you transition out of your body, do you know your coordinates? Do you know where you are going? And this is something that we can learn now because, again, like I was saying, when I was born, I didn't get taught any of this. I had to go inward, travel through those tunnels of fear within myself that had come through mainly religious teachings that did not have an avenue to allow me to describe the experiences I was having as I was being lifted onto different ships as a child. So within this, I just want to give honor to all of the different lifetimes that each and every one of you here has been living. Because you're sitting all here, but you're all masters. You guys have all been teaching these wisdom teachings for a very long time. And the more we reawaken, again, I want to just kind of highlight our speaker before. It's just a beautiful example of let it go, follow your heart, and it happens. So we want to really talk about what is our sacred geometry. How are our memories stored within our DNA and our soul? How do we clear out these reversal programmings within ourselves and activate these higher light codes? These come with amazing tools. It's not something that we have to go stumble around with anymore. We are at a time where our consciousness is creating that 100th monkey effect where we are elevating at such speeds again. And if any of you caught the talk of Dennis Adams, he made a reference that when we are born, that our growth is at a rate of 1 to 7. Pardon me if I get some of these numbers wrong. But it was fascinating that in our birth, that our growth rate as an infant to when you're, say, 14 years old is tremendous, and how fast you are replicating the cells within your body. We are at that state within our consciousness right now as a collective, and I know, can you guys all feel that as a collective right now? That it's the conversations that we used to hide. Even 10 years ago, like you had to be like, oh, I don't know, they're going to think I'm a little weird talking about this, but oh well, I'm just going to go for it. Now it's like you could go just about anywhere and have these conversations, and someone is going to perk up and feel it. So within this, I haven't really introduced myself, but I am Becca Bee. I really work with astrology, human design, soul coaching, QHHT sessions as tools to help people find their galactic DNA signatures within themselves, to awaken their truth within themselves, and primarily, I help people get down to the nitty-gritty of how to find where our shadows have been running us, and primarily where they have come from and how to hand them back, and I want to hand some of those tools to you guys today. So I am also doing a talk tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be more specifically on our influences of our star seed DNA alignments within our charts, and how we can access those signatures so that it can create this relief within us, that sometimes we just feel so inundated with all of the information that's out there, and we don't have to be all of it. We are all of it already through our unity consciousness and who we are, but at the same time, be you. And that we get to be extraordinary, just living our ordinary lives. So within this, we're going to go ahead and talk about our sacred geometry, that we are all fractals of consciousness. Now, I know you guys have heard this multiple times throughout all of the different talks, and this is what I love about these events, is because you're getting to hear this from multiple different perspectives. But we are fractals of light that are moving through dimensional frequencies through the cosmos. And our body in this density right here is what we would just call a density level where the light has slowed down far enough that our body has mass, it has physicality to it. And that if we can re-access our initiations and work with our light codes, this is how we start to elevate our cellular frequencies to the place where eventually we learn how to activate light body again. Light body is one of the most masterful techniques across all of the different higher dimensional consciousness races. As we learn to access this, when we work with light body, the negative influences that want to take over our minds here, and how do they take over our minds here on this earth? It's pretty simple. This is the Orion Empire game plan that's been playing out over and over and over and over and over again. They're brilliant at it. Hypnosis and mind programming. We have commercials. We have repetition. We have the Savior program going on this planet. We have multiple programs that are infiltrating every system you can think of, from religion to school systems to how our politics run to how every system that is built within the system of dominations is infiltrating our mind to go like, oh, well, I guess that's just how things are. And then we don't question. But we're coming back to this entire paradigm of questioning all of the signals that our body is giving us, because I'm telling you right now that your body is your Akashic record. Your body is all of your cellular memories. It is all of who you are. And all that you are holding within yourself is now the treasure that you get to find. But remember, when you were born, guess what? Up to almost 99% of you was not even you. And I want to explain what I mean about that. So I'm actually going to come back to this slide. Where does this programming come from? So as infinite souls, infinite beings of light that are traveling the multiverse, we decide from time to time to come into incarnational experiences. But guess what? You're an infinite being coming in to physicality. So as this infinite being, you come from the light realms of infinite possibility, and guess what? You have to merge with the body of Earth. So Earth donates a part of her body that comes through the womb of your mother. Your mother is holding all of the genetic imprints of her parents before her parents before her, so on and so forth. So you've just inherited, like a flash drive, all of that. Now, guess what? Your father had to be a participant in this, whether or not you had both parents growing up or not, it does not matter. Your body is a donated vehicle through these ancestral lines. So now you are inheriting all of the karma and debt of your mother, your father, all of your ancestors before them, and of the land where you were born. And that's just your human body. Your human body was already pre-programmed before you took your first breath. Which means that the moment you were born, you had to start to bend your consciousness to fit into the family you were born into so that you could survive. And that's just a part of how our infant mind works within this lifetime. So therefore, all of the programming comes from the religions, the beliefs, whether or not you can or can't have money, what you can or can't do. I like to give the example. You could be a woman born in California, but that would be different than a woman born in Japan in the same year, or a woman born in the Middle East, or a woman born in Russia, or in Canada. Where you were born matters, because you're also holding the genetic memories. And I invite each and every one of you, if you can catch one of Brad Olson's presentations. The man has traveled across every continent of the earth. Therefore, there is access to some of your cellular memories right within his presentation. Where you've landed matters. These programs and beliefs also come from our past lives or our other selves. We are multidimensional beings, and so therefore every other life we have ever lived is holding imprints in us if we did not clear everything that was emanating in our field within that lifetime. Now, one of my favorites to talk about, obviously, is the galactic DNA. That a lot of the cellular memories that we hold within our lifetime is actually coming from off-planetary. Other lifetimes, other bodies, other experiences, and these scenarios that we're playing out on Earth are really replicated over millennia of years, some of them over billions of years of time. And we have been living these histories over and over and over again. And the beauty of this is that here you are now, and guess what the most important point of time is? Is now. So we get to travel every timeline that our soul has had any resonance or experiences, and therefore we can collapse within ourself any places we have left fractals of ourself in order to come into wholeness and being now, and to be fully, completely present as your full avatar in this very God present moment of now. And wouldn't that be pretty amazing, you guys? So now, as you sense this, it's like we really need to start to be mindful of what is moving and coursing through this vehicle that we live in, because this truly is a donated vehicle that we are in. It is not who we are. When we ask the question, who is looking through your eyes? It's not your eyeballs. You're not your eyeballs. You're not your body. And so therefore, we get to honor this body as a vehicle that we are moving through this experience. And it's just got a little hiccups in it from time to time, just a little bit of karma and debt from our parents and our ancestors, and we get to let it go. Now, the one thing that I do want to touch on is that within this reality, that there are astral beings. There are disincarnate beings who do not have a form, who fully interact with us within this reality. We could call these entities, we could call these attachments, we could call these any number of different things, but I want to talk about entity attachments, implants, mind slides, frequency-directed thoughts, and this is also going to be including for any of you who have been on the Indigo Type 3 contract. Now this contract is an intense contract, and for those of you that are on it, you would know it. This is a contract of being a nanny, if you will, for beings who are needing to be rehabilitated in order to access their path back to God's source light, back to the wholeness of love within their heart. That truly there is a state within ourselves of knowingness of what God's source feels like. The oneness, the unity, the compassion that we have in our heart, the feeling of wanting to connect, this feeling of joy that we have in each other in these moments where we connect with each other. And there are those who do not have that, yet seek that, and we get to help teach that. And so sometimes we take on these paths to be the beings that assist, sometimes in those more difficult paths. So these are the places where the programs come from. So how do we start to catch them? Our body, again, is our vehicle. It is our record player of everything that our soul is speaking through the fractal frequencies of our DNA that is ringing through our cellular memories. And these step out as fears, phobias, and these are the unexplained unexplainable ones. The ones like, oh, I really want to go swimming, but I have no idea why. I have an absolute fear of water. Or the absolute panic to get in front of others because you feel as though you're going to be completely annihilated or judged by others. The feelings that one might have that they don't deserve love or they feel as though they don't belong. There's so many beings on this planet that have closed off sexual centers. That's not natural. And this comes from records and memories within ourselves where there have been held traumas and different histories within our soul where we have shut these centers down. Having a martyr or victim outlook on life. Well, I better sacrifice myself. I don't really want to do that. But no, you go first. It's okay. I'm here to serve others. There's a difference between serving others and completely depleting ourselves to the point where we have nothing left to give. Reoccurring dreams. These memories and feelings. How many of you guys here are dreamers? How many of you guys are lucid dreamers, out-of-body experiences? This is awesome. Yeah. This is probably the number one way that we can actually work through any of the things that are coming up, because the moment you step into that dream realm, it's real. You have full access to all of who you are, and everything that is potentially coming up as a shadow within life, we get to clear within these places, and it translates right into our waking reality. So reoccurring dreams, memories, or feelings, even the feeling of deja vu or missing time. Missing time is huge. Dreams where you have dreams, let me ask this question. How many of you guys have had dreams where all of a sudden you feel as though you're falling and then you wake up in your bed? Just so you guys know, you just got returned back home. There's little things we can start to catch that start to allow us to realize that, oh, okay, I guess that's where I was. That's what was happening. What was I dreaming? What was occurring? What is the new energy that I'm feeling now? And also just the feelings of feeling lost or as though we are not home. So let's go ahead and just start to play with some of this. The beauty of a lot of this information is that mindfulness is the key. The game that we get to play in this life is now to really just start to observe, who am I? Who am I looking through these eyes, living this life in the mindfulness game? And then as we go through this life, what triggers you? And this will be my invitation to you guys as I share this. I'm going to actually share a lot of this is free resources on my website. I feel that this is, if I could just share this with everybody, that would make my heart so happy. Just because these tools are so powerful, they work. That when we can catch the triggers that are happening within our life, and these are how the triggers happen. You're going to the grocery store and you're buying some groceries, and all of a sudden the cash register lady looks at you and says, "Wow, you look really tired today." And you're like, "Wow, hey, I didn't realize I looked that bad today, but thank you." And you might feel a little twinge in your solar plexus, or a little hit in your gut, or maybe even a little bit of agitation in the back of your neck. Or maybe you're driving down the street and somebody cuts you off and you feel yourself want to say a bunch of colorful words and really start to depict that person that just cut you off right there. And these are the moments that we slide by all the time. They happen to us and we're like, this is just part of life, and we keep on going. We don't even think about it. Those are your gold mines. Those are your portals and your gateways to all of the wisdom of who you are. That when you can catch that, you can go, wow, isn't that interesting? They said that to me, and I immediately felt myself shift and change within myself. I immediately felt this feeling like I didn't look good enough, or that I don't matter, or they don't see me, or I've been taken advantage of. And in that moment, moment we realize, isn't it interesting, I've allowed some of my power to be given away to another being. That every time we allow someone to affect our energy field, we have given the consent for them to change our mood and who we are. So now when we realize, wait a minute, I do not consent to giving my power away. I do not consent to allowing other people to have access to my energy and to puppeting me in any way and allowing them to change how I feel, either about the situation or myself. We now get to go through what I just call very simply, no fancy name, just a clearing statement. So when we know how to catch these things, we then get to be in control of them. We get to say, man, I'm the one that gave my power away. Well, I wasn't being who I needed to be for myself. So wherever I put that responsibility on another person, I'm sorry that I placed that on you. That is not your responsibility to prove anything about me in my lifetime. I am here to prove who I am for myself and know myself. And I set you free, and we set ourselves free. I'm not going to go, I do have a slide with the full clearing process that I will go through. But primarily when we know how to catch things through mindfulness, now through mindfulness we stop it. We become in the present moment. We allow ourselves to be in the now, because all of the triggers are either coming from the past or the future. Because I will tell you, a lot of you have traveled here from the future to be incarnated here now. So within this is just to also realize, when you know your blueprint, and this is what we're really going to be talking about tomorrow, is to know your galactic DNA blueprint, to know your chart blueprints, your human design blueprints, that all of these are your ability to say, hey, I was born with an owner's manual. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who I came here to be, and I don't have to be like anybody else on this planet. And therefore, it creates the sense of relief within oneself to realize that you can start to wake up in the dream. Now, waking up in the dream through mindfulness is exactly like lucid dreaming. So if I was to give you 3 tools that I would say are some of the most powerful tools on this planet, number 1 is mindfulness. Start to be you. Start to observe the you living your life, so that you can come into the now and just realize when you get triggered, ooh, that's interesting, my body felt that, but that's not me. I wonder where that came from. And then we get to go to the origin point and collapse the stuck timeline within our own energy field so that we bring ourselves back into wholeness. Number 2, breath work. Breath work is one of the most powerful transcendence tools within this lifetime, because it activates within you your natural source of DMT within your body. Within 3 breaths, you instantly stop your autonomic nervous system from its reactions that it's been having, so you again bring yourself into the now. This is really kind of all of the teachings in a lot of ways just come back to that similar point, coming back into the now, right? So with breath work, you immediately change your sense of consciousness and who you are and bring yourself back into the state of beingness here now. Now within this now moment, you get the chance to reset yourself right here, right now. Who do you want to be? What dream do you want to create? And the third tool that I would say would be the most important tool that we can activate is learning to lucid dream or out-of-body experience. Because within this, now you realize that you are not your body, you're not stuck in your body, and that this is all part of our consensus dream that we are having together. And if we don't like it, guess what? When we're in a lucid dream, we learn the power of change dream now. And the dream changes, right? And so you start to learn like how powerful you are within your consciousness, within your mind, and within your thought, because truly all is mind. And within lucid dreams, you remember the power of your mind. It's no different in this waking reality. There is not a single difference within it. And just as you heard our previous speaker before talking about, oh my God, it was scary, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to follow my heart. That is the perfect example. We start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm feeling triggered by this. I feel afraid to follow this dream that I want to feel and I want to do. But guess what? Whatever's in the way of that, wherever that came from, however I inherited it, wherever it was something that I agreed to, I do not consent to it any longer. In this very I am present moment of now, I am hereby canceling it. I am deleting it and I am letting it go. Because I choose to be my I am presence in this very I am moment. And so it is. And therefore we keep resetting ourselves into the now so that within this, we face every fear from moment to moment and go like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should go up and talk to this person, but I feel really guided to do it. And if I do it, oh my God, what if they're going to judge me? Who cares? Right? We just grab that place. Isn't it interesting? Oh, isn't it interesting? I have this fear of going forward. Wow, it's just like the time when I was 3 years old. And I had something important to say, but it was like I didn't matter. Nobody believed me. Nobody heard me. Nobody valued what I had to say. So it was safer to not be seen. It was safer to not be heard. It was safer to stay hidden. And we're going to realize that 99% of the beliefs that we have were created before the age of 7 years old. So most every single fear that stops you or slows you down is coming from a child's perspective. And I don't know about you guys, but I love my inner child, but I don't want her running my life anymore. I want to play with her, I want to have fun, and we're going to be creative, but at the same time, we get to bring a higher level of consciousness to the decisions that we're making. So we truly are absolutely perfectly designed. And here actually is an example of a clearing statement, so that we really want to acknowledge where something is coming from. The moment that something gets triggered within us, where do you feel it? Like, oh, it's this feeling. It's this feeling of tightness in my neck. It's this feeling as if I just want to run and hide. It's this feeling as though I want to shut down. You grab wherever it is, and you just acknowledge the feeling. And you just say, isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting, this feeling just moved through my body? They did that, and I felt this, or I reacted like this. The moment that happens, now you want to give a trapped cellular memory the ability to speak what it hasn't had the ability to speak potentially for millions of years. Because how many of us in childhood wanted to say something, and there was the adage of, well, children should be seen but not heard. No, you don't understand, you're too young. And our opinions got shut down so very early in life for many of humanity. So therefore, the idea of allowing certain things to come to the surface, which we felt we've had to bottle for a long time, is a little uncomfortable at first. But in truth, when you can now start to verbalize it, that we get to give a voice to whatever it's saying. It's this feeling like nobody understands me. I give, and it's as if it's never enough. Let the feeling speak. Let it take all of the energy that's been trapped in there and say whatever it needs to say. And after it says it, that you get to say thank you. I get why I created the pattern for dealing with things in this way, but it doesn't belong or it doesn't work for me any longer. That in this very I am present moment of now, that any way that I have ever used shutting down, being silent, giving of my energy in order to be loved or respected or in any way, this doesn't agree with me any longer. And any way that I've ever used that as a way to exist within this reality, I'm canceling it now. I'm complete with it now. I dissolve it through my field across all time, all of my realities, and every aspect of my soul. I command this now, and so it is. And we want to use the breath every single time in between these. Whenever your breath wants to breathe, you want to breathe it because it instantaneously changes it within the cellular patterns. And what is happening within the cellular patterns is you're actually changing the way that your DNA sentences are speaking the language to your soul of who you are and what you are projecting out into your reality. So guess what? Is the cash register person going to change who they are? No. Is your mother going to stop being the way that she's always been? Probably not. But what changes is you and how you get to be with them. So now as you acknowledge it and you cancel it and you delete it and you let it go, that you get to, there's more steps to the process, but this is the basics of it, that you now get to say, because the truth is. What do you want the truth to be? The truth is I'm amazing. The truth is I belong. The truth is I have a voice. The truth is I'm a cosmic being and I came here to be who I am, to be unique, to be different, to be my own radiance. And anything in the way of that, I'm done with it. And so it is. And we allow ourselves to take our power back, because what we are doing is we are becoming sovereign beings. That the moment that we allow ourselves to realize that every single thing that has happened to us in this reality, even from the moment that you were born, you created. And when you get to take the power for that, guess what? You are empowered to change anything in your life because it's yours. So now I want to talk about some of the tools that we get to use. This is the fun part for me. So the clearing statements and the ways to catch the things and to move them, these are the tools. This is how to work with things in real life. I think of it like teaching you guys how to wash dishes. We eat in the kitchen, we gotta wash dishes. We wash the dishes and then who cares? We move on. But for most of the things that are stuck in our life, we treat it like a bunch of dishes in the kitchen that we become overwhelmed with and that we don't know how to deal with it, and oh my gosh, it's overtaking my life. But in truth, even our traumas, our wounds, our hurts, and all of the things that we've been holding are no different than just a dirty dish. Let's just clean it up and let's move on. We are here in the now, and we get to be who we came here to be. So who did we come here to be? Well, guess what? We are a fractal replication of the universe. And the universe does not make mistakes. And one of the things I love about human design is it truly is about how we work together as a planetary consciousness. That it's not just about you, and it's not just about your design, but it's more about know who you are so that you know how you interact with others. What is your aura like? Now, when we look at this from a cosmic level, why did your soul choose this body? Why did your soul choose you this lifetime? Your gender, your characteristics, the family that you were born into, the skills that you have. Why did your soul choose you? Now, within human design, we get to start to acknowledge the beauty of that we all have a role to play, and that our soul chose this, that we innately on a higher level chose this. So human design has percentages, if you will, that we are very much like a beehive. And I have to just give so much love to Cosmic Ray, to Raymond Keller for this. As I was having a conversation with him last year, he really was going in about how within the beehive community on Venus, and when they were really sharing with the Venusians their place, that it's a matriarchal system, but it's not a system that says, oh, well, you're royalty and you're the next in line and this is your special and this is your position or your title, but it's more like a conscious unity creation. That it's decided almost on a telepathic level, each person's role, and you're very proud of your role. You just be your role, and the roles, as your lifetimes change, can change. But in truth, when you come in as the honeybee, that you get to be the bee you came here to be. And I love human design because it's just that tool that's going to give you the first initial just clue into that beingness that you are. Did you come here to be an energy generator? Did you come here to share your wisdom? Did you come here to share new ideas and inspirations, or did you come here to be a reflection for others? And when you know who you came here to be, you get to be you and let everyone else be who they came here to be. Now, the beauty in this, sorry, I'm not very good at moving the slides along. The beauty in this is that you see the percentages on here is that we realize that the universe does not make mistakes, that there is sacred geometry and fractalization that happens within everything. Even our ratio between the planetary systems is within sacred geometry. And so this is how our consciousness moves. Now, as we start to explore human design, this is where it starts to take us back into the shadow. Those memories that we hold within our cells, within our amino acids, and within the communication that our DNA is triggering into the amino acids of our body, therefore our holographic projection of our life of who we are. Your star chart of when you were born cannot be an accident. I will tell you, I have met incredible souls. One in particular that just, it really giggles me because this is a woman, she's all like, you know, I was a twin. And I was like, okay, well, that's amazing. She's all like, yeah, but I was born 2 months before my twin. And after I had done her soul chart reading, this woman had a huge mission to be here on this planet for. And she knew the family she jumped into. And that the only way to break her connection to the being that was born in the womb with her to keep tabs on her was to hop out before she did. And to this day, I'm just like, this is just incredible to me. And I've heard story after story after story of many of us that either came early, came late, however we came. It's perfect because you are light. And your light as consciousness moves through the cosmic bodies. And the cosmic bodies are just our larger body and our archetypes of the different levels of our consciousness. They hold the higher consciousness levels of us. And one of the amazing things about when we start to learn all of this is that there is an elevation that we get to take, or a graduation even, if you will, within oneself. The karmic wheel is no different than the astrological wheel. We've come to become whole with all of it, balance all of it, and get the heck off of it. And that when we learn all of our placements within ourselves, no transit, no full moon, no new moon, no Saturn returns, and no Mercury returns are ever going to affect you, because you become a fully sovereign conscious being. And that is what we have come here to be, to let no other being reign over us. You are your own sovereign. You are your own cosmic sovereign God self. And therefore, we are here in this lifetime to get to capture all the places we've given our power away. And guess what? Getting our power back from the places we thought were scary in the first place, it's an adventure. So here we have something like human design, which is based on the 64 gene keys. These gene keys correlate specifically. We have 64 hexagrams within human design. These are the gene keys, or the I Ching, the I Ching. And each one has 6 lines. We also have 64 codons within our body. And each of these is 6 groups of amino acids. Amino acids are key. If you guys get a chance to hear some of Dave Wallace's talk, he goes very beautifully into the power of amino acids, how they work within the mental plane, how our levels of consciousness are moving through it, and when many of our multidimensional family members are communicating with us, they are specifically communicating with the amino acids within our mental structures in order for us to have the ability to have that telecommunication with them again. That we really need to rewire our neural nets within this body to become the antennas that we came here to be, so that we are not disconnected in any way. And as we can see, that water is one of the most prominent, and this is even a little low at 60%. We would say 70 to even 75% of us is water. Water is the mother. And that amino acids make up 20% of our body. That is how important it is. And when we hold miasmas and traumas, these amino acids get restricted and tight, and then guess what? Our neck hurts, our back hurts, our knee hurts. We start to get a little stiff as we get older. We're not supposed to. These bodies are biogenesis vehicles that have the ability to be eternal. But we live within a toxic environment that doesn't allow the living light to continually flow through us, so therefore the miasma starts to degenerate the light within us, and that's why we choose many times to transcend out of the body and to take on a new body. But there are beings on this very planet right now that are proving to us that you can live for thousands of years on this planet. They don't hang out with us, though. They eat very pure. If they eat at all, they live in very pure environments, and their mind is very pure. So, just to kind of come and, what's our time?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Awesome, thank you. So just to kind of come into some of this as we wrap into how our star placements come, that these really start to play in the beauty of our owner's manual. That our sun sign, who you are, has so much more information to it than just one of the 12 astrological symbols on a chart. There are layers and layers and layers just to the very moment that you were born on this planet. And this could be signified as your destiny, who you came here to be, the very moment. We're talking that you could be an Aquarius, and you could all be born on the same day, but down to the minute it matters. Minutes change exactly who we are, because the cosmic neutrinos are constantly changing throughout the universe, and so therefore, again, it is no accident to the exact moment that you entered into this earth. And as we learn our sun sign and our destiny, guess what? This starts to give us an anchor point. Who am I? And if there is any resistance to that, guess what? We have the clearing statement. Anything in the way of me being who I came here to be. Higher self. What is the highest expression of who I can be in this reality? And anything in the way of that, pull it from me now. I'm done with it. Now I will tell you, one of my favorite things is after doing a clearing, is to actually go to your council. Go to your Akashic council, go to your higher council, however you perceive it. It doesn't matter, because in many ways it's right inside of you. But a lot of times we like to look up. So go to your council and call all of your council and open your Akashic records to hold every place that you've ever held that pattern in any lifetime, in every way that you've ever perpetuated it. Collapse it. Say, I'm complete with this now, and anyone that has ever had to play this role with me, I am ending all contracts with you, and I am complete with this now. Pull it all from me now. I get the lesson. I see who I am. I see who I need to be for myself. And so it is. And then you ask for your records to be upgraded with your new information. Now, your north node and your south node are going to be your signatures of more of your past lives, of where you have been, and also the direction that your soul is pulling you. This coupled with your ascendant. Your ascendant over your sun sign is incredibly significant. It changes moment to moment. And therefore, as the ascendant is moving through the day, moving through the signs, this is more of your soul waiting for the exact moment to be here to wear the exact aura that you needed to be in order to do the larger mission of your soul's purpose. So therefore, your sun sign is going to be like your destiny. What you can embrace as characteristics of yourself, the role you can play, but truly on a soul-based level, your ascendant is going to give you the deeper clues of the greater ascension that you are embracing within this lifetime. And your MC is going to embrace to you how you get to share that with others. All of these now, just to share this, within human design, there's something called the incarnation cross. It takes your sun and your earth from your personality side, which is the exact moment you were born, but also takes an imprint from about 88 degrees or 3 months from before you were born, as a significant marker within your soul's DNA's imprint of your design crystal. So your body, your Akashic preloaded records that you were born into. And it takes the sun and earth from that marker as well. And this signifies how you move through this path and also how you take care of this body. That it's not just about you being you and driving this like a crazy sports car, but it's more about this is a conscious vehicle and you're borrowing it. Mama Earth let us use this portion of her, but she also asked us, while you're here, Will you heal a part of me? You don't have to go anywhere searching for a mission in this life. Your entire mission is you. Be you. Be the you came here to be. Completely break free from every self-prison that you've put yourself in. And as you see the direction that you're going, that you can look to the stars to know your exact imprint of who you are. And that we are not alone, and it's not just about us in this incarnation or this lifetime. But as planetary consciousness, just so you guys know, those beings that like to control the minds of those who are not aware of what they are thinking, they think on the long term. And I want to kind of end today with inviting you to think on the long term. I have up here our Pluto generations. Our Pluto generations are a beautiful way for us to see the long-term goal of how we are all working together. What you are doing in this lifetime is assisting the next generation. And they are assisting the next generation. We are all helping each other. Every bit of you becoming the you came here to be helped that young man earlier stand up here. He couldn't be here without you. All of you are so beautiful, so extraordinary. So we have Pluto and Leo. I love you guys. You learned how to love yourself without needing to be loved by others. We have the Virgo, who get to learn how to be in service without having to be a martyr or a servant to others. We have those in Libra who are learning to be in balanced relationships, learning self through the relationships of others, because everything is a relationship. We have those now in Scorpio who question everything. I love our Scorpios. They will doubt everything to the end. It's perfect. And they paved the way for our Sagittarians, who have been completely annihilating all of the dogma and do not have an inkling of an ounce of wanting to believe any of the things that have been taught on this planet, because they are here to change that. And who did they make way for? Our beautiful Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn generation is right now. And we have one more year of this, you guys, of these beautiful beings who have a very tough path. And I also want to give so much love to the Pluto and Scorpio generation and some of the Pluto and Libra generation who are the parents of these children, because they have come here to completely crumble every single program, every single structure. They are here to get rid of government. They are here to get rid of the schools of era. They are here to question absolutely everything and rebel against it and break down the structures. And they are amazing. And 2023 into 2024, our little Aquarians are going to start getting born. Watch the change. When those beings turn 15, 16 years old, our job is to have cleared our vehicles out so much that there is not a single thing that stops them from who they came here to be. That is how important each and every one of you are. So I thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. My cosmic star friends. And I will just leave this up here if any of you would like to connect with me. I do have a website, a YouTube channel, and an amazing Thursday group. It's our soul circle that we get together to raise the vibration high consciousness, because it's not something that we do alone. We do as a group. And I have a bunch of our group here at this conference. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, because you are all family. So I love you.